If your private student loans are in default, you're not out of options. Go to yrefi.com/Ramsey.
I've got a question for you. It's kind of short to the point. My wife and I, we own our own home, and we're still working a little. I'm working full time. My wife works part time, and we have two grown sons. And one of them recently went overseas to go to school, and we, along with him, put together some money for him to go over and start going to school overseas. And now he has asked us to help again, and just wanted to kind of get some advice and, see what you guys would recommend.
What's he studying overseas?
That's a good question. We're not really sure.
Yeah, I would not put another penny in this.
You don't know what he's studying?
Yeah.
None. And I am as pro higher education as anybody in this building. I promise, maybe the top. I'm probably the most pro higher education person I know. And I would not fund my kid to leave the country to go do a thing that I don't know what's going on or what they're doing, what they're studying, what they are expecting to gain. And by the way, if my kid goes to college, one of my rules is you have to study abroad. I even believe in sending kids abroad. We've got to get. I'm a huge believer in that, but you don't even know what you're putting money into. So I would not one more penny.
Jay, how much have you given him so far?
It's between. Let's say it's around 10,000.
Okay, so
his mother probably knows a little bit more. We think it's visual art, but we're not sure. I'm not sure.
Is the uncertainty, to answer me this, is the uncertainty on your part, or is it on his part? Has he been kind of telling you and you guys are like, okay, yeah, and just not taking it in? Or is he being ambiguous and not being clear?
Yeah, the second. Yeah, okay. The latter.
Did he have grades and end of semester? If you're a VA student, you would have visual arts student. You would have a portfolio that you've started your freshman year. So he would have examples of art and examples of all different sorts of product. Have you seen all that stuff?
Some of it. Yeah.
Have you seen the grades?
It's been a while. No, have not seen any grades.
Level with us. Level with us, Jay. Do you think he's still in school, or do you think something else?
I do.
Okay.
I do think he's in a situation where he is kind of up against the wall. He told us he got sick during the first semester there, and he got behind on some of his classes. And I believe that he did get a job. He never had a job before when he was here, but he has a job now, but it's not enough to generate. And we did recommend maybe looking into other options like a small student loan or something like that. But really, without an income, I wasn't sure whether or not he was going to be able to, pass and the formalities of getting a student loan. Yeah. When he didn't have a job, but he does have a job.
Well, I don't even know if you can get a federal student loan to qualify for an overseas university. This is not. I worked with college students for 20 years. This is not passing my smell test.
Yeah, it's not sounding good, but there's two sides of it. I want to confirm that there's two sides of this here. I agree with John. I would not keep shelling out money for purposes that you don't know of or what it's being used for. That's thing one. But thing two is, it sounds like there was a lack of expectation and lack of clear conversation on, how we're going to school, who's paying for it, what's on the table, what's not on the table, what my responsibility is, what your responsibility is. That conversation clearly was never had. And so when you do come to your son and say, hey, son, I can't give you any more money for this. Here's why. But I also want to go back and say, here's what I should have done that I didn't do.
100%.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
He did a lot of it on his own. 75% of it was done on his own. And
I know, but you still don't even know what it is. Help.
Right.
What I'm saying
that has been a source of bothering me and his mother for over a year now.
So if my kid came to me and said, "Hey, I'm spending $35,000 of my own money that I saved up. Would you help me with the last 10 grand to go to college? I would be thrilled. Absolutely.
Sure.
But we'd still sit down before I wrote a check for $10,000 a semester, 40 grand over the course of 4 years. I would still sit down and say, what are you studying? What's your plan with this? What is your day-to-day going to look like? How can I love you here? And by the way, again, every college is different, and I can't speak for overseas colleges. I know I spent a ton of my time taking students who got sick psychologically, physically, who know, like cancer, psychiatric issues, all of it, helping them get back on their feet and be successful that semester and or the next one. And so just it just doesn't, something's not adding up.
Something ain't right. Yeah.
And so I love Jade. What Jade said is so important, though, because if you sit down and say, hey, I don't know what's going on, then he's got to have to defend himself. If you sit down and say, hey, I blew this whole college thing and I want to start over, I need some more information. I didn't do a good job. I wasn't clear up front. I didn't ask you what your major is. I didn't tell you I want to see some of the work. I want to know what the plan is. Why are we studying overseas? What kind of job or life do you want to have? Are you going to live overseas when you get out of school? And is there a visa process? Are you going to come back home? I want to know some of those questions because, Jay, the question I'm hearing him ask beneath the real question is, I don't know where my son is and what's going on.
Yeah. And he's nowhere near me. He's in another country.
All right.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to lie. But I do want to make sure that I'm being really clear, just not only for Jay, but for other listeners too. When it comes to college, John, being able to pay for school, whether all of it or a portion of it, is really a privilege for both parties. It's a privilege for the child to receive it, and it's a privilege for the parent to have the financial ability to say, here's this money for your education. Like, that's an amazing thing. That being said, it's not a requirement. Like, it doesn't make you a good parent or a bad parent if you can't afford to pay it. But the one thing, money aside, the one thing you must do that is so, so important, you've got to have these conversations before the fact.
Yes.
And you've got to have them more than once, because you hear something and, information gets lost and details get forgotten. It's up to us as the parent to have these conversations and say, hey, here's what it is. When you go to college, here's what we're going to do. We got to pick a place that you can afford. Here's what your mom and I are going to put in, or here's what dad and I are going to do. Here's what you need to do. We're expecting you to work. We're expecting you to earn $800. Like, be specific. We're expecting you to cover your room and board. We're expecting you to cover, your apartment. We're expecting you to live on campus. We're expecting to give you $3,000 a month. Be so clear and talk about it as much as possible so that when the time comes, there's no question.
And start talking about it your freshman year of high school.
Yes.
It doesn't sneak up on you. It's like Christmas. It will be there in 4 years. And it's a simple reverse engineering math problem to say, we're going to have this many dollars in an account to help you.
Yeah.
You're going to be responsible for this. And by the way, here's what the top 3 colleges in our state cost.
Or
this is reality.
Or like my dad said, hey, you ain't got a college fund, so you better be good at sports or you better get an academic scholarship. And that's the expectation.
And tell them that their freshman year of high school, not their second semester senior year.
Why Refi refinances defaulted private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.